Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Washington Nationals March to October. The fact that we are still in Season 1 here in episode 20 is kind of crazy, because that means we're still alive in the postseason. We are completely and totally playing with house money at this point. We are so far past where we should have been. If there were talk shows and debate shows in this universe, everyone would have been expecting us to get bounced in round 1 by LA, but instead we swept them. So now we are on to the divisional round, and we get to play a division rival. The Philadelphia Phillies were the number 1 team in the division and the number 1 team in the National League. They're also the defending National League champions. However, though, in terms of player skill and player ratings, they're the 6th ranked team, which is 1 spot worse than the Dodgers were. So in terms of the talent that we're going up against, this technically should be about the same or maybe even a slightly easier matchup. Whenever we start a new series in a March to October, I always like to check on the opposing team's lineup. So we're going to take a look at the Phillies here, and then we'll play it by ear whether or not we play only 1 game or 2. Because normally I'd only play 1, but we are starting in the bottom of the 7th, so there's a chance it could go quick. Anyway, let's get into this. They have a pretty good lineup. Trey Turner leading it off. He actually regressed over the course of the year. He had a pretty good year, so I don't really know how that turns into regression. I mean, 53 doubles, 14 triples, and then 22 home runs. That's kind of crazy. Alec Boehm got some progression. He had 22 bombs. He had a pretty solid season. They got Bryce Harper, who was a minor league all-star this year, because with his real-life injury, again, the way that the game handles it is they start him in AAA, and then from March to October he's just stuck there until probably September was when they were able to call him up. But when they did call him up, he put up numbers. So he's back. He's a big threat, especially if we have a righty on the mound. Same with Schwarber. Big threat for a righty on the mound. He actually regressed a little for his power, only 31 homers, but his average was actually up. This was a more similar season to 21. Well, I guess not quite, because he played in 30 some more games. JT probably had, he had a really good year. 27 bombs, about a 300 average, 24 stolen bases and only 4 times caught. That's better than anybody on our team, I think. Castellanos had a 30 home run season, bit of a bounce back. This Derek Hall guy, I think I talked about him a little bit. He had a 39 home run season and he was near the top in the National League. But even at a 68 overall, based on these numbers, he's one of their scariest hitters. Then they have Brandon Marsh, who had a crazy amount of progression throughout the year. He hit 20 bombs, 36 doubles, batting average over 300, OPS over 850, 5.5 WAR. That's a breakout season. And then Bryson Stott at the bottom of the order didn't really do anything that impressive, but everybody from, in the lineup against righties at least, everybody from Turner to Marsh is scary looking to face. And then they also have Hoskins on the bench against righties. He didn't have the best year. He regressed also, but still really good against lefties. I don't think we'll have any lefties starting though, so Hoskins will probably be on the bench for most of the series. I don't think they really have anybody else on the bench to look out for. I mean, some speed with Sosa. This guy also has some speed. Backup catcher, nothing really to look at there. On the pitching side, I mean, their 1-2 punch is kind of scary. 91 overall Aaron Nola, 90 overall Wheeler. Nola had a 3.20 ERA, not a whole lot of strikeouts, but a pretty solid season there. Zach Wheeler was an all-star. He had a 2.40 ERA, surprisingly low number of strikeouts. So that 1-2 punch, really tough. But if we get to Suarez here, his ERA was up at 4.72. He didn't quite make it to 200 innings. Doesn't give up many homers, but walks a lot, gives up a lot of hits. We should be good against him. Taijuan Walker also had a pretty middle of the road year. And then Bailey Falter, same kind of deal. Their bullpen, I'm assuming the 2 big arms to worry about would be Jose Alvarado and Dominguez. Alvarado did not have a good year though. 6.16 ERA, that is terrible. He did only pitch 19 innings though, so relatively small sample size. It could have just been one bad outing even. And then Dominguez as their closer, he got 52 saves with a 2.40 ERA, so he is definitely the scariest one out there. Just quick to look through the rest of their pen. Andrew Bellotti, he had a good year, real good year. Connor Brogdon also had a really nice year, 2.59 ERA and 80 innings out of the pen. Gregory Soto did not have a good year, but he is always a relatively scary arm. Matt Strahm, nothing crazy. And then Kimbrel, that's pretty much what you'd expect. So yeah, honestly, even though they were one rank below the Dodgers, Phillies are scaring me a bit more. I don't know. To me, it seems like they're a bit more of a complete team. At least, I should say, based on solely this March to October and the stats that the players had within this March to October. We do have one change to our roster. The CPU decided to get Israel Pineda up here as our backup catcher over Riley Adams. Shouldn't really matter that much, shouldn't really come into play at all, but it is what it is. And also the way that our rotation got reordered for this series is interesting because Strasburg stays at 3, so he's not ready to go for game 1, at least I would assume. And then they put Adone behind him, so I don't know if this is how it's going to be. I don't know if somehow people get energy back quicker, maybe it'll change, but as of now it looks like Cavalli will be getting game 1, Gray game 2, and then Strasburg game 3. So like I said, I'm not sure if we'll get in only the one game or more. Kind of all depends on how quick this one goes, but we're on the road for the first time in this postseason. It's locked up at 0. This seems to be how our playoff games have been going so far. Low scoring into the late innings. Phillies have a runner on with only one out, and Schwarber up with Cade Cavalli throwing a no-hitter. So I would have thought about bringing in a lefty to face Schwarber here, but with a no-hitter being thrown, I kind of feel like I can't. Harper being on first had to be the first base runner that Cavalli's allowed. So we're not looking at a perfect game here. He's got a lot of energy too. I don't know, man. This could be pretty special. After a record-setting game by Adone at the end of the last series with 18 strikeouts, to come back out and have this performance from a different starter. And we sat down Schwarber on strikes, 8 for Cavalli. Man, somehow Cade Cavalli's slider always gets those swings like that. It does not have all that break, it's not all that accurate, but they just let it fly. And it's the circle change that gets real Muto. Cade Cavalli might be doing something special here. 7 no-hit innings, but we have to get on the board. Luis Garcia is 2 for 2 today. Let's make that 3 for 3. Let's get something started. That's got to get down to the gap. Marsh could run that down. He's quick, but he's not going to get there. Mr. Clutch strikes again with a leadoff double in the top of the 8th. Now it's Abrams. Oh, I could bunt him over, but Abrams hits, man. Against a righty like this, Abrams can get it done himself. Oh, that's not... That was a good swing, but not for the situation. You never want to, but in that spot, you gotta roll over on that one. Hit it to the right side, move him up. That does nothing for us. That is... Oh my god, that's not getting through. I guess I was off of that. I thought I made a good swing, but I wasn't really anywhere near. Alright, Meneses, you gotta do it against a righty. All we need is a base hit. And he dotted me up. Oh, you can't be taking that on 2 strikes, but it just froze me. Man, you get a leadoff double like that, turning the order to the top of the order, you can't not have him come around to score. And that got him. Another strikeout for Cavalli. He couldn't hold up. Oh, that's going to be the one to break it up. Hung a curve, not where I wanted it to go, and that's going to be a 1-out double. So now we move from trying to keep the no-hitter going to now just trying to keep them from scoring. Bringing in speed. Brandon Marsh and Stott coming up. Might be a perfect time to go to a lefty. We got to keep that runner from scoring. Amazing start from Cavalli, but in this spot, man, we can't let that run score. There we go, a 3-pitch strikeout to the first batter. This is going to be a tough play. Abrams is not going to make it. We needed one of those quick animations, a jump throw or something, and he just didn't get it. Now we got a tough matchup. Turner hits lefties very well. But we get him to pop up. All right. We're still scoreless. Kept them off the board. We got to get ourselves on the board. They're going to a lefty, one batter too late. Man, I don't know if we could have not hit the double with Garcia and then had Matt Strahm come in with Meneses leading off. That might put us in a better spot. And I laid off. All right. They let me hold up. We have our leadoff run, or our leadoff base runner, hopefully turns into a run. Do I pinch run for him, though? Now that's the question. I think you have to. I just think you have to do it. I'm hesitating, but I got to do it. I don't want to hit one to the gap and then not be able to score, and then, you know, things go bad. I don't know, just part of me sometimes likes to wait till that guy gets up to second so that, you know, if I ground into a double play here, then that pinch runner's for nothing. And he keeps throwing that same pitch. There we go, get over. No, why is he so tall? That was it. That was our gapper to bring around the runner to score. And he just casually reached up and snagged it. Man, Dom Smith almost did it again, lefty. That's a pretty good swing. Candelario, though. No doubter on the first pitch he sees, that was destroyed. And once again, we don't score until the 9th inning. We're getting slightly earlier though with our scoring because this time we did it with 1 out in the 9th instead of 2. But there we go. The clutch gene is still here with everybody. Man, and the fact that it was a 2-run shot is so much bigger too, because now we have that insurance run. We're still not done though, only 1 out in this inning. Oh, and that was a pretty good swing. It just didn't get hit to the right spot. And there we go, we're drawing a walk. 2-out walk with Robles to bring up Mr. Clutch. Lefty. 3 for 3 today, and he can get the job done against lefties. And he will get the job done against a lefty. It does get down. Okay, for a second I didn't think it was. We can't quite send him though. That would have been nice if we could have gotten him around to score on that, but I feel like that's an automatic out if I try and get him home. They're going to Gregory Soto to face Abrams. Okay, that's a very tough matchup. And the first pitch just under the fastball, so we won't get any more even though we threatened. But Jeimer Candelario is the one who had the magic in his bat today, and now we gotta close it out. Israel Pineda coming in, making his season debut in the postseason, and we're gonna get our closer in, Kenley Jansen, to close this one out. Gonna be a tough inning though, because you got Harper, you got Schwarber, both coming up to bat this inning, but hopefully with that cutter actually facing a lefty will be fine. And there's our grounder to get the first out. Perfect. You don't want anybody on base when those two come up to the bat. Cutters in. Steady diet of cutters in. That's all I want to throw here. Chase it. Saw him off. Okay, maybe not let it get that far out over the plate though. There we go. We like that. And there we go, 4 straight cutters to strike out Harper. That's 2 down. 1 to go, and it's Schwarber. Same plan. Okay, that one snuck out over the middle of the plate more than I wanted it to, but it's a lazy pop fly. And that is another win. 3-0 to start our postseason run. What a game. Luis Garcia going 4 for 4 out of the 9-hole, and then it was Candelario who got the big swing. Momentum still doesn't really matter in the postseason, and let's see, what's this next one gonna look like? If it's short enough, we might go ahead and play it. It's gonna be another one in the 7th. This time we're at bat, top of the 7th with the runner on. It's basically the same situation. It's just this time it's the top of the 7th instead. But you know what? I think I'm gonna leave this one there. I don't want to get too far ahead of things and then only have one quick game to play. Like if we win this game and then we'd be in a spot to wrap up the series. If it's only like a quick game to win the series, then next episode would be too short. So we're gonna call this one here. Slowly but surely making our way through the postseason. So guys, as always, if you enjoyed today's episode, do me a favor, hit that like button. And if you're not yet subscribed, 20 episodes in, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We have so many more episodes of this March to October to go. I'm having so much fun with this team, and we really haven't even scratched the surface yet. So many more years of building this team up we have to go. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching today. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you next time.